Hey, I'm Nancy, and I live and travel full-time in a 2005 Lazy Days Class C RV. I'm glad you're here today to see how a full-time RVer spends her day. I'm starting the day with coffee. Let's get some creamer. So I wanted to share with you what I need to do to take a shower. First, what I have to do is go and turn on the water heater, if you can see it here, right there. So I have to turn on the water heater and then wait probably about a half hour. So I took the dogs out for a walk. The next step is going to be to empty out my shower. I have my washing machine and my kitty litter in there. So I have to empty that out and put it in the RV somewhere while I take a shower. So that is what I need to do to take a shower. And then once I take a shower, I have to wait for the shower to dry, wipe it all down, make sure that it's very dry so that there's no humidity or chance of mold getting into the RV, and then I get to put everything back. So it's a bit of a job just to take a shower. I'm headed over to the laundromat to get some laundry done, and I'm taking you along with me. So let's go. I already have my wagon outside with my laundry in it, sorted. Sometimes it's just easier to take the wagon than it is to take the car. I have about 30 minutes before the dryer will be finished, so I headed back over to the RV. And while I'm here, I will dump the tanks and fill my tank with water. My freshwater intake valve is still not fixed because it's been cold out, and I need to do a heat gun to get that off to put a new one on. Hopefully next week I'll be able to do the heat gun. But right now I'm filling my fresh tank with water every few days and just using the water pump, which is working fine. So come with me and I will empty my tanks. It's only gray water, don't worry. One is done. I'll shut that. Untwist. And I will let this fill with fresh water. So you can see what I need to do. I got the 3 screws off, however, I can't get that off. I tried scoring it with a razor. I'm going to try it one more time with a heat gun, and if I can't get it, I'll have someone else look at it. But right now, this will just go until it's full. Filling my fresh water tank and using my water pump. Always backups for backups. Right now I'm just filling the water in the tanks, and you can see that my black tank and gray tank still don't register quite where they are. If I shook the camper around a little bit, it would go down to 2, but they are empty. The fresh water is filling. So once it starts to flicker on that top one, then I will go and turn off the water outside. I'm back from doing the laundry. Everything is in there ready to go. I don't even fold the sheets because they just have to go right back on the bed. Lunch, I am just making a grilled cheese sandwich. And it is almost done. Yum. And I have this just plugged into a power strip. And the power strip goes into the 20 amp outlet on the power pole, not into the RV, because this can take up a lot of energy. And I'd rather have the energy just come from the power pole instead of the RV. And lunch is served. After I finish eating, I always take my plate and I wipe it off to get as many of the crumbs off into the garbage before I put it in the sink to wash it. That stops so much extra food and oil and things like that from getting into my gray tank. I don't have a black tank, but it stops a lot of the smells and anything that could gunk up the gray tank. If you're enjoying this video and finding any entertainment value or value in it as you consider starting your own full-time RV life, then please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. So I got the garbage together, ready to go out. I will take it up to the garbage in a few minutes. I got the awning up today. And the reason I have this up is so that I don't bump my head on the rails. So right now I'm going to take the garbage out. I put the garbage in the front seat of my car. I know a lot of people put it on their roof, but I've seen too many garbages fall off the roof. So I'll throw it in the front seat. So I could walk up, but right now it's just easier to take the bag and drive up. So I'm just gonna drive up. It is finally a beautiful sunny day here in Florida. I will probably go for a scooter ride today. Traveling through the park on a scooter is possibly the best way, or a bike, the best way to see who's in the park and who's around. And sometimes it can turn into a happy hour. My friends who are up in this area the other day have left and gone to another park. But we will all be back together in a couple weeks. And when they're around, there's always a potluck or something going on. You just want to be careful you don't hit any kids or people on bikes.
garbage, the dumpsters. So right now it's still early on Saturday. I can tell you by tomorrow night, these dumpsters will be full. And that's it. So I'm back at my campsite now, and of course, the minute that I turned off my other camera, a car drove by with garbage on the trunk, and I've just seen too many times outside of the park. If you ever drove by a campground and you see garbage outside of the campground, it's because someone forgot to take the garbage out before they left, and they drove away and the garbage fell off, and now it's all over the road. Still have a few more things to do today. I haven't even put my laundry away yet, but I think it's just so nice that I'm going to go for a scooter ride. I already ran into a friend who I was pretty sure was in the park, someone I'd met in Kentucky who had helped me when I had my coolant leak issue. Thousand Trails Orlando is kind of like the Times Square of camping, in my opinion. Well, it's starting to get cold out already, and it's time to cook dinner while it's still light out. I'm going to cook outside tonight because I'm having swordfish, and I don't want to cook that in the RV. So first, I'm going to do the swordfish. I have to go get my oil. Here it is. This won't take long, and I like to cook with just a little bit of sesame oil. So start that cooking. Toasted sesame oil. And this cooks really fast. I'm going to put some toasted sesame oil in here too. I'll be using that a little later for the spinach. I like this pan because once you get everything in it, you can just flip it. can smell it already. It's starting. So I'm going to take the swordfish and put it in there. And then I'm going to drizzle a little bit more on the other side of the swordfish. I really like sesame seeds. I'm going to shut that and let it steam. Back up. So you really just need a few minutes on each side for this. Usually once it cooks about halfway through, then I'll flip the pan. I'm also going to add some Creole seasoning. Ooh, that's a lot of oil. I'll show you how nicely that's coming along. Getting those juices and that oil, and I think I'm going to flip it over one more time. It's such a pretty night out tonight, and not as cold as it's been, but it's going to be cold in the 40s. Flip it one more time. It smells so good. It's making a mess, but it smells good. Give it a few more minutes. I do cook at home a lot because I live here. I'm not just on vacation. Plus, a lot of times I like my cooking better than the things I get when I go out anyway. And this smells so good. All right, so for now, I'm going to take that and just put it over here on the hot plate. Go back to medium low because this is a cold pan. A little bit more oil in here too. And then turn it up to medium. And then I'm going to start to put spinach in here. Yes, I'm going to make the whole thing. It's not that much. It really, when you saute it, it goes to next to nothing, and I'll eat the whole thing. Probably if I covered this, it would cook quicker, but it will start going soon enough. I also added some garlic to this. Certain things I don't like to cook inside the RV. Fish, bacon, and burgers. This is almost done. That would be good if I had some feta cheese on it, which I do not have. I think that's done. So you can see that it really has gotten down to pretty much nothing. Just enough for one. And then just put the swordfish right on top of it. And there you have it. I'm gonna eat inside because it's cold outside already. Sesame swordfish over a bed of sauteed spinach. Thanks for hanging out with me today as I got stuff done. I hope you'll stop back next week when I share with you my change of travel plans for 2025 and why, and what I'll be doing instead. See you next week.